Jet fans, it's time to have a potentially awkward conversation. Boy Green Daily, Breece Hall, put on notice. What does all that mean? Let's go.
I'm gonna lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks! Zooey mama.
I made it clear that my intention was to play, and my intention was to play for the New York Jets.
You're fucking wrong!
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Paul Ashton Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you find your podcast. As you head on in, please like the video, hit subscribe, baby. We're trying to get closer and closer to 10,000 subs. We're about 150 away, so thanks for everyone that's been subscribing to the channel. From 7,500, and each mile marker, we're going to be doing fun giveaways. Once we reach 7,500 subscribers, we'll be giving away a piece of New York Jets memorabilia autographed by two former New York Jets first-round picks. One lucky subscriber will get that gift pack as soon as we get there. So keep subscribing and keep sharing out the channel. We appreciate it. Also, give a big salute to Project Prospect, a.k.a. Dom C. He's here on the chat. And it's time to have an awkward conversation about Breece Hall. We got a full article in the YouTube description down below. Now, Dom C almost started this show yesterday when he flirted with the possibility of taking Ashton Jeanty, the Boise State running back, with the 7th overall pick. He did not. He went in a different direction. Enjoy that mock draft Monday. But I don't think people realize, okay? So here's the full breadth of the conversation here. I don't think people realize in Jets fandom how close the Jets were to taking Jahmyr Gibbs with the 15th overall pick in that draft. Now, it didn't happen, of course, because Jahmyr Gibbs went before the Jets were on the clock with the 15th overall pick. But I just want to throw a couple of things here, and then we're going to reverse our way back to Breece Hall. So Breece Hall is our running back. He's a talented guy. You know, he's shown flashes, certainly, over his first couple of years of home run ability, this, that, and the other. But we haven't seen it consistently. He's never had a 1,000-yard rushing season. Not necessarily that that's the line in the sand that you judge such things, but it's worth noting. So Breece Hall in his rookie year, he looked like he might be the rookie of the year. 7 games in, looks awesome, blows out his leg against the Denver Broncos. He's out for the rest of the year. That next offseason for the New York Jets, I am on strong authority to say that the New York Jets planned on taking Jahmyr Gibbs with the number 15th overall pick, and here are a couple of nuggets. NFL draft analyst Dane Brugler, who covers the draft for The Athletic, revealed on social media after the first round that the Jets, quote, had their eye on running back Jahmyr Gibbs with the 15th overall pick, but the Detroit Lions beat them to the punch. Detroit Lions general manager Brad Holmes said, hey, if we didn't take Jahmyr Gibbs, he would have been gone by 15. 15 was the Jets pick. I had Jets senior reporter Eric Allen on my radio show the day after that draft, again in 2023. Breece Hall drafted in 2022. He blows out his ACL, after the first 7 games of the season. The 7th game, he blows out his ACL. The next offseason, the Jets are already thinking about drafting Jahmyr Gibbs a year after drafting Breece Hall. Interesting. And then you have, like I said, the notes from Brad Holmes. You have the notes from Dane Brugler. And then my conversation with EA where he said, hey, it would have been very interesting if Bijan Robinson or Jahmyr Gibbs was on the board for the Jets. And I was like, huh? Interesting. Because none of us thought the Jets were looking at a running back in that class. They had Breece Hall. Why would they be looking at a running back? Interesting. Now, obviously, none of the coaching staff that was there and even potentially interested in Jahmyr Gibbs is no longer here. So that's a good point. That's fair. But here's why it's interesting. Breece Hall is entering the contract year this upcoming season. He's got 1 year left on his contract, folks, and then Breece Hall has to be paid. Shoot, Breece Hall could be paid right now if the Jets wanted to. So now we have a Breece Hall question. Are we keeping Breece Hall long-term? And I'm about to put a poll up here on YouTube so you guys can answer this while we're going through this exercise. But are we keeping Breece Hall long-term? And then this conversation might be moot. Are we letting Breece Hall play out his contract year and then he walks in free agency? Are we letting him play out this contract year and then playing the franchise tag game? Like, what is the future of Breece Hall? I don't know. I like Breece Hall a lot. Some people are arguing keep Breece Hall long term. Some others are saying, hey, play the game, play out 2025, franchise tag him in 2026, and then figure it out after. Maybe that's what the Jets do. I don't know. But if the Jets were willing just a year into Breece Hall to hit the eject button, and I'm not saying like Breece Hall would have been part of the offense too. I mean, look at Detroit, right? They had David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. They had both. But if they were willing to do that after 1 year, why wouldn't they be willing to do it potentially with Breece Hall heading into a contract year? And again, I get it that the coaching staff is different now than the coaching staff that considered Jahmyr Gibbs in the draft. But Aaron Glenn's coming from Detroit, where he saw this phenom of Knuckles and Sonic, of David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. Long story short, I'm just saying that we shouldn't rule out Ashton Jeanty, the Boise State running back, with the 7th overall pick. And, of course, as you guys were talking about it before the show, the interesting part of all of this is Lance Zierlein, NFL draft analyst for NFL.com, the NFL media group. He actually predicted the Jets would take Ashton Jeanty with the 7th overall pick. Here's what he had to say. Quote, the analytics community won't like this pick, but so be it. The Jets have a stagnant offense, and Breece Hall has not reached 1,000 yards rushing in any of his 3 seasons. Jeanty provides instant adrenaline to the offense and creates buzz in Aaron Glenn's first season as head coach, end quote. Obviously, Ashton Jeanty was a Heisman finalist this past year, record-breaking year. He had 2,601 rushing yards, 29 touchdowns, and 7 yards per rushing attempt. Zierlein in his NFL Combine profile called him a unique talent who has future all-pro talent. I mean, captivating. And I'm seeing a lot of people here all over the place. Jets are not taking a running back at 7. June says, I'm getting him fired up in a bad way. I'm telling you guys that if this year didn't, I'm a former running back, so obviously I'm a little biased. But if this year didn't show you that positions should be reevaluated, then what will? Look at Saquon Barkley. Look at Derrick Henry. Look at Josh Jacobs, man. The running backs are back, baby. The running backs are back. Think about this, right? In terms of money, right? So Saquon gets paid somewhere in the ballpark 12, 13 million per year. That's a number 2, number 3 wide receiver, people. When we look at running backs, we devalue them for whatever reason. But look at the impact. Saquon Barkley and the Eagles are in the Super Bowl. The Eagles are not in the Super Bowl without Saquon Barkley. And Aaron Glenn is an old school guy. He was drafted in 1994. That was the greatness of running backs. Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders. That was the height of running back lure in our league. The tail end of Walter Payton. That's what I'm talking about. Sweetness. Hey, now. So, getting a running back who may be small in stature, but is explosive and dynamic, that is intriguing. And there's a conversation, what would that mean for Breece Hall? Do they trade him immediately? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe they ride it out and have both, which, again, like I said, is what happened in Detroit. I mean, Ashton Jeanty is a special prospect with video game numbers that we haven't seen since Barry Sanders, for goodness sake, in terms of statistics. If the Jets are looking for juice on offense, maybe Ashton Jeanty's the guy. Again, I like Breece Hall a lot, but to be honest, there's just been a lot of hiccups. There have been questions about durability, obviously. He had the ACL blowout. And then this year, while there was a few hiccups, we kind of said, oh, is Breece right here? Is Breece right there? What's happening? And some people, Ted, we've talked about Breece attacking the hole and rushing lanes. We've had these conversations on this show about how Breece operates and contact balance, attacking the hole, some of those additional layer things. Again, I want to say I think Breece Hall's a special talent, but now we're playing the game of football. Breece Hall, in his run of cheapness as a second-round draft choice, is about to be over. After this season, he is a free agent. So the Jets are going to have to franchise tag him, which is a projected number in the $10 to $12 million range, fully guaranteed. Are you willing to do that for Breece? if it's a long-term deal, what does it look like? Where does that put him? The highest paid running back in the league is Christian McCaffrey at $19 million. That seems far too rich. But where does Breece stand in all this? Because it's projections with Breece. Jeremy Fowler before the year talked about, who is the best running back in the game, and Breece Hall was ranked number 2. He was the number 1 rated running back under the age of 25, but obviously he didn't play like that this season. Throw this one up from the Meadowlands Swamp Thing. I feel like you could extend Breece at like 8 to 10. Maybe. That's kind of what the projected numbers are on Spot Track. Would Breece take that? Would Breece bet on himself and say, F your 8 to 10? I bet if I have a great year, I could be pushing the Saquon numbers, and I'm in the 12, 13, 14. I don't know. I don't know what Breece Hall's thinking. I'm not in his brain. But that would be my guess, the Meadowland Swamp Thing, of the appropriate value right now at this point. It'd be a multi-year deal between 8 and 10. And again, would Breece be willing to take that? I'm not so sure. But that's the number. That's the number that we have to consider. Taylor says, how many RBs can take a 5-yard check down to the house? Yeah, we all think about like the Giants plays of breaking tackles all over the place. Makes a lot of sense. I knew this was going to be a very angry part of the chat. Alan says, Jets aren't taking Jeanty. Well, not a lot of Jet fans had the Jets taking Will McDonald. Now, in all fairness, that was the draft that they wanted Jahmyr Gibbs, apparently. But hey, man, you look at Will McDonald, he's doing quite well for himself. Quite well. Alan says Breece will never take 8 to 10. And I tend to agree. I don't think he's going to take that price, especially with how he's talked at press conferences. Not that that is all facts, but with how he's talked, I think Breece is going to want a bag. Now, I don't think he's proven to get a bag, which it kind of goes back in a different way. Garrett Wilson's been awesome. His numbers are awesome for him. They're awesome for the team. There's been no other wide receiver in Jets franchise history that have had more yards than him through his first 3 years. So they're really good numbers for the Jets. But they're not Justin Jefferson numbers. They're not 14, 15, 1,600-yard seasons. They're not double-digit touchdown seasons. Okay? He just broke the 100-plus catch barrier this past year. But, Garrett is really good. And a lot of people say he could be better. Jeremy Fowler joined us on the show last week and said that folks around the league believe he's a top 10 talent, but it just hasn't played off in that way. Breece could say, hey, man, I'm not sucking because I'm sucking. I'm not putting up the numbers I want because this offense stinks, and there's nothing I can do, which is what he could say. Because let's be honest, for Garrett, if he had better quarterback play, me personally, I think he could be putting up Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, crazy-ass numbers. It could be biased talking here, but I think 100% he could be putting up those kind of numbers. But the quarterback room has sucked. And then this year he finally has Aaron Rodgers, and there was some force feeding of Devontae on the tail end of the season. But, I think Garrett could have put up even better numbers. And I think the conversation here about potentially the Jets taking Ashton Jeanty with their first-round draft choice, got a shock in the draft, is that you have to decide if you want to extend Breece. You got a lot of people extend. Garrett Wilson, I'd extend him. Sauce Gardner, sure. Jermaine Johnson eventually, yeah. Breece, it's the running back position, man. You got to make some big boy choices. And the debate for the Jets for this conversation is, okay, we can re-sign Breece. He's really talented, but we have to pay Breece, let's just call it $10 million for shits and giggles. Let's say he's making, on his new deal, $10 million per year, multi-year deal, right? So you said it here. Do we get Breece for $10 million per year, or do we go Ashton Jeanty or the Braylon Allen, Isaiah Davis people in the audience? Do we circle around those guys that are making peanuts and say, hey, we can reinvest the resources of a potential Breece Hall extension here, there? That's always interesting. Yeah. Our number one Austrian Jet fan says, don't sleep on Davis. Yeah, Davis, sure, yeah. Molon says RB is the least of our problems, and that's why the Jets could certainly choose to say, hey, so Jets pick at 7. 2 quarterbacks are very likely going to go before them. So that means the Jets just need 6 players to go. If 2 of the 6 are quarterbacks, that means 4 are going to go, which means very likely the Jets are going to get a very premium player somehow slipping to the board at 7, whether that's Mason Graham, whether that's Abdul Carter, whether that's whoever. Will Johnson, shout out to Ricky in New York, whoever it is, could be a corner, could be an interior defensive lineman, could be a pass rusher, could be a corner, could be an offensive lineman, could be a hog molly. Who knows? I don't know. Wide receiver, perhaps? And to Molan's point, running back doesn't atop all of those different needs, but it's not about the need. It's about the BPA, best player available. Sometimes you can marry best player available and need, and you kind of marry them together and say, it's sort of close, but hey, we need a corner, or we need a pass rusher, or what have you. So, again, it's just a fascinating conversation. Lance Zierlein drops a bomb out there on his NFL.com mock draft, and it gets my juices flowing because a couple weeks ago I mentioned that, folks, I wasn't as blunt as I'm saying now, but people in Jet fandom do not realize that the Jets were this close to taking Jahmyr Gibbs. Do you imagine the draft picks we would have had if the Jets would have taken Jahmyr Gibbs with a top 15 pick a year after having Breece Hall, who had that wonderful start to his career? I mean, that's bonkers, man. Bonkers. And we were this close. Again, the coaching staff's different. The general manager's different. All that's different. I'm just saying, man. We were this close to some crazy crap. And now you fast forward to now, and you have Aaron Glenn, who came over from Detroit. I just think there's a lot of connective tissue here for that potential. Absolutely. And I'm curious that this offseason, for the New York Jets, Dakota, I'm afraid to tell you, I just see this comment, trade DJ Reed today. You can't. It's over. DJ Reed's on an expiring contract. You can't trade anybody to the start of the new league year, and at that point, DJ Reed will be an unrestricted free agent. So I'm afraid not, Dakota. The Jets lost their opportunity to trade DJ Reed, which apparently there was a lot of interest from Washington, but the Jets said no thanks. So they will lose DJ Reed for nothing. Maybe a comp pick, depending on the complicated free agency formula that exists. So, yeah, DJ Reed cannot be traded. I'm sorry, Dakota. That is true. That is true. Taylor Stirring says, we took Gibbs, who wouldn't have taken Allen or Davis. Probably not. Probably not. But that's the NFL. You pluck this one thing here, then this breaks off over here, this breaks off over there. All things go all over the place. All things are different. Brandon A says, someone should be fired if we take a safety at 7. I love the takes. People, right? Dom seen his mock draft yesterday. Says Malachi Starks to the Jets with the 7th overall pick. And people start freaking out. Jet fandom, safety, that sucks. Terrible. And then we have people saying, Ashton Jeanty would be good at 7. Ashton Jeanty at 7, someone should get fired. So we're going on all over the place, which I love. I love the passion of the Jets fan base. I do love the passion. Ashton says, I wonder who our running backs coach is going to be. Yeah, that's there's still a few more a little bit of this for positions that still have to be figured out. There's a couple more positional spots in the Jets staff. Let me see. I don't think they. Let me look. New York Jets coaching staff. Let me see if they've updated their website. We did lose Todd Downing. I think it went to the Patriots. Yeah, let me see. Okay, I'm on the Jets website here. Okay, we got Steve Wilkes, Chris Banjo, Tanner Engstrand. Yeah, here are the only coaches we have right now on the staff. So obviously Aaron Glenn, you got Chris Banjo, you got Tanner Engstrand, you got Steve Wilkes, and here are the assistant coaches we have. Sean Jefferson, he's back. We have Walter Kuzmarek. I'm not really sure how to pronounce his name. He's an offensive assistant. We have an offensive assistant of the fellowship, that's Junior Taylor. And then we have DB Nickelback coach Nathaniel Willingham. They have not officially announced the Chris Harris edition or some of the other additions here on the staff. So the Jets website has not added all that. But yeah, running back coach is still up there. J-Boy, is Hackett fired yet? He has been removed from the Jets website, so that's probably a good sign. And his position is now taken by somebody else. So I don't know if he's officially been fired yet, but there has been a switch there. There was a switch there. And another one I didn't mention, obviously, interior defensive line. That's a major one. I just wrote an article this morning. Apparently, Aaron Glenn might be targeting a former Detroit Lion. That's on Heavy on Jets. I just posted that article this morning. Maybe we'll get to that topic later this week, perhaps. we could get to that time. But that's a coaching staff as we currently have it. The Jets haven't announced anything else, and so we're still waiting for some official action. And obviously, we got the Super Bowl this week. Dakota, no more bums throughout the staff. Please not. Hey, by the way, let's flip the banner, baby. Here's our Boy Green raffle leaderboard for the month of February. Number one Austrian Jet fan in first place with 52 gifted memberships this cycle. For Lillian Big D with 6, Jennet with 2, and a bunch of people tied with 1. That's Jared, J-Boy, MFC. And what you guys are competing for this month is one of my favorite giveaways we've done ever. I'll throw it up here on the screen, baby. A New York Jets signature football, full-size NFL football. It comes with a pump. It gets shipped deflated. I already have it here right behind me. And it's got an Aaron Rodgers signature on it, Garrett Wilson, Sauce Gardner, Breece Hall, a limited edition collectible we're giving away, custom laser engraving package, Jets logos, Boy Green logos merged together, and a salute to service, New York Jets Nike long sleeve. All of this is available. To get raffle tickets to potentially win that, we'll be giving that away on March 1st, but we're counting up all the raffle tickets and memberships that get gifted from right now all the way through the rest of February. You can either buy a Boy Green Coffee Club membership in the YouTube description down below. Join the Boy Green Coffee Club here. Just click there. It's $2.99 a month. So you just pay $2.99. You have a raffle ticket to win all those wonderful prizes. Or you can gift memberships. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the money sign. Final option is gift channel memberships. You can gift as many as you'd like. No limit on that. And the more raffle tickets you have, the better chances you have of winning that prize pack. So again, cool signature football, salute to service gear, a cool custom laser engraving package. There's a lot of cool stuff. I highly recommend you guys hop on the train, baby. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Dakota says, go Chiefs Dynasty. I'm 100% rooting for the Chiefs. I'm rooting for Saquon, the person. As, again, former running back, I love Saquon. Absolutely pounded the table for Saquon. I love Saquon. But the rest of the Eagles, bleh. But the Chiefs, sure. I mean, it's history, a potential three-peat. Sickish Jets football going. Yeah, that's a sweet football, man. It's pretty sweet. Brennan A. said, I'd rather take a tight end from Penn State that's Tyler Warren than a safety at 7. Hey, everyone's got different takes, and I'm all about them. We can all, when people call in and say, Paul, though, we should draft a quarterback. Paul, we should draft a safety. Paul, we should draft an interior defensive lineman. Paul. I'm cool with it all. Let's have those conversations. That's what mock drafts are about. It's about having conversations, walking through scenarios, talking about good, talking about bad, things of that nature. He'd rather take Tyler Warren, which is a fun player too. Alan, people say sign Moses. Why would a tackle on his last year's not go ring chasing? Some people do, some people don't. Like Larry Fitzgerald, he lived and died by the sword of staying with the Cardinals forever. And Morgan has expressed, I've heard him in several one-on-one interviews say he would love to return to the Jets. So he's got a special spot in his heart for the Jets. So I'd love him back. And then I'd do basically what we did this past April. You sign Tyron Smith. You draft Olu Fashanu. You got a guy for the compete. Or going compete. He's got that going on. Like, I'd have Tyron Smith. I'd have Olu Fashanu battle it out. Obviously, Tyron wins. He's a all pro of all caliber, right? He plays. But bring back Morgan Moses, 1-year deal. Bring him on back. He likes being here. Draft a tackle, whether that's at 7 or the second round, 42 maybe 92. I don't care. Draft the right tackle. Throw him in a room. Put a lead pipe in there. Say only one of you is walking out of here. Okay, Morgan won the battle, fine. And then the rookie develops. And then if Morgan gets hurt, right tackle steps in. Bing, boom, bam. So, I don't mind that at all. But, yeah, it sounds like Morgan really wants to be here. But I get your overall point now. And if I was this veteran right tackle, would I just go try to join a champ and try to see if I could get a ring? Probably. Yeah. Dave Briggs not on the Chiefs train. No three-peat. He's an Eagles guy. Okay, that's fine. We've never seen him before, so the history is kind of cool to me. And they don't bother me anywhere near as much as New England Patriots. Patriots had Spygate, Deflategate. I hated Tom Brady. Bill Belichick's a douche. Like, Andy Reid's a lovable guy that likes cheeseburgers. I mean, Patrick Mahomes got a quirky Kermit voice. There's not a lot of people on the Chiefs I hate. I know a lot of other people do, not me. The Patriots, I hated. I loathed with every fiber in my body. But the Chiefs, I'm kind of like, whatever. I mean, and maybe, and I've admitted this before, maybe the reason I'm not more upset by the Chiefs is because the Jets have sucked. right? Like the Jets are not competing with the Chiefs for the number 1 seed, and we're grappling. If I was a Bills fan, I probably hated the Chiefs a lot more. They've eliminated me 4 times in the playoffs, but the Chiefs haven't eliminated the Jets once from the playoffs, so I got nothing to worry about over here. But again, maybe if the Jets are at that level, I'm like, the Chiefs fucking suck. You know what I mean? So maybe to have different vibes about it. Taylor Sterling says, big ticket and Huff getting ring off Barkley's back. Hey, now, don't forget about Braden Mann, the Eagles starting punter. Boom. Yeah, we got a lot of former Jets on the Eagles. Well, good for them. Bryce Huff has had a tough year, but he could win a Super Bowl ring. I'm sure that'd be great for him. And Mackay obviously is a starter. So, Pastor Carlos Reyes says we really need to address the D line immediately so we could stop the run this year. That'd be nice. I agree. I think a big priority for the New York Jets should be finding a Robin to Quinnen Williams' Batman. I think one of the big failures of this 2024 season for the Jets was the rotting carcass that was the interior defensive line, and I think that virus spread to the rest of the team. So the Jets blowing it up, shipping away JFM, bringing in Likey Fotu, bringing in Javon Kinlaw, and then saying, those guys will be good. And then they weren't. And they're like, oh, boy. And then, Michael Clemens can play both. No, he can't. And then Quinnen Williams is doing it all by himself in there. Couldn't stop the run. Quinnen's only playing insert amount of snaps anyway because of our defensive philosophy from the coaching staff. Yeah, to me, I think that's where the team started to rot and it spread. We should have amputated that part of the body off, and then we maybe could have saved it. But, Joe Douglas sort of doomed the Jets with his musical chairs on the defensive line. That killed the team. That was supposed to be the straw that stirs the drink. That was supposed to be the foundational backbone of the New York Jets. And, that backbone gave out, and horribly. So, yeah, a top priority for the New York Jets should be finding some running mates for Quinnen Williams on the interior defensive line, both for run stopping, like you said, Pastor, and also just in general for some pass rush juice. Quinnen needs some help in there. That's why so many people, I think, are all over the Mason Graham, ship. For sure. NC Green says Moses would be a great swing tackle. Yeah, he's been primarily a right tackle, but yeah, sure. He's been around the block. He's been around the block for sure. J-Boy says the safest pick at right tackle is at 7. Safest pick is right tackle at 7, excuse me. Maybe. Right tackles could still flop, but I think Field Yates called Mason Graham a safe player. There's a couple other safe guys at the top that weren't right tackles, but maybe. Again, I wouldn't mind reinvesting in the offensive line. John Simpson was great. 100% Dakota. Salute to John Simpson. He had a really great year, and a lot of folks made fun of that pick immediately. Gary says he's 51 years a Jets fan. Congratulations, sir. Powering through. Appreciate you, Gary. Thank you. Let's get some more comments, and we'll open up the phone lines here. Dick Chimney's Burner says, Chiefs just annoy me. I live in Eagles country, would hear about the refs all offseason the Eagles lose. Okay, I see. So selfish reasons, Dick Chimney. Fair enough. Touche. I feel you there. Emmanuel Holcomb. Yes, he is, but the RB position is very deep this year, which could be the counter to, I say, ooh, Ashton Jeanty, that could be kind of crazy. And then people say, well, the RB position is incredibly deep, so maybe that's like, hey, man, we'll just wait. But I would just say this, because the RB being deep is sort of why the running back position was devalued to the point that it was, right? Why pay Saquon Barkley if I can have Devin Singletary? That's what the Giants said. They said that. Yikes. But that's part of the problem, is that not all running backs are created equal. Sure, can you find a capable, warm body that could get you 1,000 yards in a 17-game season? Yeah, maybe. But we're not. That shouldn't be the goal. The goal should be finding a passable body. If you look at the position, with some love and openness, that could be a game changer. That could be a difference maker in your offense. Again, Jahmyr Gibbs on the Lions, he's been a freak. They should have ran him more in the playoffs, but that's neither here nor there, perhaps. But, I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs, Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs. Look at all the running backs this year that went balls to the wall, man. Massive difference maker. So while, sure, the position's deep and you can find a guy, I want the guy. That's why I'm saying we have these healthy conversations about Breece Hall. And is he the guy? I don't know. My father's hated his guts here on this show, but Hep, what's up with the Cleveland Browns pass rusher, and are the Jets a possible landing spot for Myles Garrett? Well, happy. Myles Garrett is a dominant freak, a defensive player of the year award winner, and a defensive player of the year candidate every single year. He is an absolute freak. I love Myles Garrett. I would love, hey, I tweeted it, and let me see if I can find it real quick. I tweeted this out. This little custom Myles Garrett graphic I made. I did, let me see if I can find it real quick. Here it is. Yeah, I'll throw it up here on the screen so you guys can dream a little. I don't know how realistic this is, but let's show this up on the screen. Here we go. Yeah, baby. Look at this. Boom. Will McDonald, Quinnen Williams, Myles Garrett, and Jermaine Johnson. Sign me the hell up, baby. Huh? Now, here's the potential bugaboo in this wonderful family reunion happening here in New York. Myles Garrett is going to be traded for at least 2 first-round picks and probably more. Players, other mid-round picks. I mean, he is a freak. A freak. A difference maker, a game changer, a game wrecker. I mean, I'd love him here with the Jets. Put him on this defense line. Look at this foursome. You put them out there? Shoo. Let's see what happens, baby. Like, let's mix and match. Let's see what happens. The price is exorbitant, again, and I would pay the price because he's just that good. But I'm sure, as some people will say, the Jets are more than a pass rusher away, this, that, or the other. But Myles Garrett is just a difference maker, man. I mean, you have to. He's amoeba-like. He can move all over the defense. He just doesn't have to line up on one side. He can stand up. He can put his hand into the dirt. I mean, he could just win in so many ways. I'd be all over this if I was the Jets. I'd be all over this. I'd say, what is the price? I'm making that call. I already made that call yesterday if I heard about all this. So, he wants to play for a winner, which some people have joked. Well, the Jets have had one winning season in the last 14 years. Why would he want to come here? But I'd go like, hey, baby, you're the missing piece. You could get us over the top. We could do some things. So that would be my sell job. I don't know if he would listen, but yeah, I love it, Hap. Good question. Okay, let's answer a few more here, then we'll go to the phone lines. Brian Farrell says, we need guys who could score points. Missed out on Bowers last year. Get the fucking tight end from Penn. Yeah, that would be, again, as we talked about, Tyler Warren would be the guy. That would be the guy. That'd be fun. Easy here in the chat. I want Mason Graham or someone even bigger. Who's good? It's stuff in the run. Yeah, Mason Graham would be a fun pick. Yeah. Reese says, do we know how many draft picks? Yeah, I can pull that up for you real quick. 1 second. Pull up the old draft value chart. That's got all our picks on it. All right. 1 second. I'll highlight it on the screen here in just a moment. All right. Okay. All right. Here we go. All right. Let me throw this up here on the screen for you, Reese. A lot of people have asked about this, so this is a good question. Throw this up. This is a 2025 NFL draft value chart. You'll see it with a little yellow highlighter here once I get a cruise commercial off. Okay, get that cruise ad. Geez. Okay, let's go back here. All right, let me scroll. Let me get that one more time for you guys. Okay, there you go. So you see it, perhaps. I don't know how big that is on the screen for the yellow highlighter. We have our first-round pick. That's 7th overall. We have our second-round pick. That's 42 overall. We have the Lions' third-round pick. Remember, we traded our third-round pick to the Las Vegas Raiders for Devontae Adams. So we have their third-round pick, which is 92 overall. We got a fourth-rounder, 109, and we have 2 fifths and 2 sixths. 146 in the 5th round, 157 in the 5th round, 188 in the 6th round, and 210 in the 6th round. We don't have a 7th round pick. So there you go. We've got a 1, We've got a 2. We've got a 3. We've got a 4. We got 2 5s and 2 6s. That is the treasure chest of picks for the New York Jets Reeks. Good question. Oh, yeah. Now that I can see on Streamer what you guys can see, you could not see that at all. So I apologize for not being able to see it. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit, but you're going to lose some of it, I guess. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we're real up close and personal now. So here we go. Here's the picks. It's probably still harder to see, but here we are. Here are the picks, and then it goes down 210. So we got 92, 157, 188, 146, 109, 42, and 7. Those are all your picks. Good question though, Reese. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2 5s, 2 6s. That is our draft haul. And we're not expected, to get any comp picks. So for those as well. All right, beautiful. A lot of good questions here. All right, let me kind of skip through. See if we have any super chats or memberships coming through. Want to confirm real quick. And no. Okay, perfect. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to open up the phone lines next. We'll take your phone calls on a variety of topics, and you can explain to me why I'm an idiot on this Breece Hall take. Great. Let's open up the phone lines, and more coming up next here on the show.
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Talking just football, man. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. The New York Jets Football Club. Wow. Offense, defense, special teams. Watch the Super Bowl season with Boy Green. Jets, Jets.
Thanks, Hep. We'll be thinking about that on the Super Bowl week this week. Again, the phone lines are now open. That is youtube.com/boygreen25, baby. That is the pinned comment on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook or Twitter, we appreciate it. But if you'd like to call into the show, that is youtube.com/boygreen25. Like the video, hit subscribe. Again, we're about 150 subscribers away from giving away a piece of New York Jets memorabilia, baby, signed and autographed by 2 former New York Jets first-round picks. And I'm going to throw a surprise gift in there as well. Once you reach 7,500 subscribers, we're about 150 away. Tell your friends and family to subscribe to the channel. That's youtube.com/boygreen25, baby. As soon as we get there, I'll be giving that away. Plus, we have our giveaway. I'm going to ship that out to J-Boy. That's coming this week from the post office. Can't wait for that for him. And then the next gifts are going to be on the way. We're going to keep giving them out to all you wonderful people out there. We appreciate it. Again, like the video, hit subscribe. Let's hit the phone lines up. We got the very passionate June, the GM, here on the show. Good morning, June.
Paul, I'm very upset.
Oh, boy.
Last night I was driving home from work, just minding my business.
Sure.
So I put on the Matt O'Leary show. I'm just here with Matt,
Yeah.
And
nice guy. Yeah.
And Dom C says something so crazy that I had to gain control of the wheel.
Oh, good Lord. What did he say?
He says in this draft, there's only one blue chip prospect, and that's Abdul Carter. I said, what?
One in the entire class?
One blue chip prospect. And if no one believes me, you can go on YouTube and look it up. It's there.
One blue chip.
Is Travis Hunter not a blue chip prospect?
Yikes. Yay.
You're trying to tell me, Travis, go get the money, Hunter is not a blue chip a man who can play both sides of the ball at an elite level is not a blue. This is why, listen, I like Dom C, by the way, very smart, intelligent man. No disrespect to Dom C. But Dom, you were acting crazy last night. That was a crazy take, and I disagree. Travis Hunter is by far the number 1 blue chip prospect in the draft. Abdul Carter, number 2. So now that I got that out the way, I feel a little better. But, it really threw me off. And
yeah, that would throw me off, to be honest with you, because, blue chip, I mean, how is Travis Hunter not a blue chip? He won the Heisman, man. And he was one of the best receivers, one of the best corners all in the country together. I don't know about that.
I don't understand. And listen, I haven't been graced with the blessing of being on a sideline in Mobile, Alabama, or seeing, teams like Penn State and the Ohio State and my Sooners live. But my God, I saw, if you're going to tell me that these eyes are that bad that I can't see Travis Hunter as a blue chip, I'm not watching football no more. Then I'm done.
Okay, so let me just
on
because again, people are asking. So go check it out on Matt O'Leary's channel and confirm.
last night's episode, I don't know
Yeah.
the name of it. I just happened to put it on because I was driving back from work. And he was on there talking about the draft. And he says, yeah, because to me, there's only one blue chip prospect in the draft. And I was waiting for Hunter to come out. And he says, and that's Abdul Carter. I said, whoa. I said, Dom C. I don't want Dom C nowhere near Muji. Keep Dom C away from Muji. I'm warning you, Dom C. I like you. Stay away from Muji. Anyway,
there you go.
Getting Jeanty at 7 is crazy. And
okay, which one's crazier? Dom C saying there's one blue chip prospect in this class and it's Abdul Carter, or me saying Ashton Jeanty? You could sell me at 7.
Oh, they might be neck and neck. This is like I don't know. This is like picking between Rich Kotite and Adam Gates for worst coach ever. You know, I don't know, but I can say this.
Yeah.
When you're evaluating someone like a Breece Hall, we have to take into account the disgusting coaching that the New York Jets have put out the last couple of years. We had one of the worst offensive lines in football last year. It finally got decent, but the play calling was hideous when it comes for the running back. Let me ask you a question like this, Jets fans. If you really want to think about Breece Hall, try to devalue his ability, because I think he's top 3 in the league talent-wise. Yeah. If you put Breece Hall in Detroit, what does he do? What does Breece Hall do down in the Lions?
He's probably Jahmyr Gibbs.
What does Breece Hall do in San Francisco? You know, with the way
probably Christian McCaffrey, yeah.
You understand that? Like, we have to look at that. Breece Hall can catch out the backfield.
Yeah.
He can run. And remember, please, guys, I know we think these men are cyborgs, but when you have a major injury, it takes around 2 years to get back from that injury. Like when you tear an Achilles, everybody, Rodgers just right. He just had a tore Achilles the year before. It takes 2 years. This is the year he'll be at 100%, and he still plays 17 games.
Yeah,
we don't think. We think these guys, torn ACL. Oh man, this guy, he lost a step. You think? You think? So give him some time. Running back is not a position of need. We got the young gunner too in the back who I like a lot. That guy looks like the young Christian Okoye, the Nigerian nightmare.
Oh, I love that. Hey, by the way, would you pay Breece Hall? Would you pay Breece Hall?
A modest contract. He would have to prove it this year if the line is up to par.
All
if
right.
Breece Hall gives me 1,000 yards rushing, 500 yards receiving, 8 to 12 touchdowns, I'll give him a check, because what we don't want is this. I'm gonna put this out there, and I hate saying it. What we don't want is a Saquon Barkley situation where he ends up in New England and goes crazy.
To be honest, that's my fear on Breece Hall. As much as I'm saying about Breece Hall, this, that, or the other, my fear is that Breece Hall will go to a new locale, right? It doesn't work out with the Jets. He gets traded. He plays out this year, then leaves in free agency, and he goes to one of those teams you said, right? Like the Lions or something, or the 49ers. And then he is that. He is Jahmyr Gibbs. He is Christian McCaffrey. It goes crazy, and then we're like, boy, all he had to do was get away from the Jets, and I will just cry.
Remember, Vrabel in Tennessee, he likes the running back position. They run downhill.
Right.
Don't be surprised if we act funny, and give him, we're going to let you test the free agent. If he ends up in New England and scores it for the next 5 years, I don't know who can recover from that situation. So I say leave running back alone. I keep on screaming Warren. I won't be mad if we trade back and get somebody on the defensive line who can stop teams from running for 300 yards on us.
Yeah,
I won't be mad at that. And the other thing, a quarterback I'm hearing dart at number 7 is asinine.
Oh my God! There's a lot of that hoopla on social media. I saw that. Yeah.
This stuff. I think what happens. I think people get a pass. Not you, Dom. I respect you. Like I said, I think you're legit. You're legit with the draft
guy. Yeah.
Not you. This ain't for you. But I think, down there in Mobile, I heard it's easy to get a pass. It's the easiest type of event to get a, pass to. I think they let, anybody in there, and they coming back saying Dart's the number 7 draft. Dart's incredible. Stop. I mean, we watch football. He's good. Dart's second round, mid-second round, third round. But we got to have patience, team. Listen, Breece Hall, if he don't deliver this year, I get it. But also understand, too, that running back is the type of position that you always have to have somebody in the stable ready to go.
No doubt. Especially today's day and age. Yeah.
Yeah, the lifespan is 3 to 5 years. I give Hall time. I think Hall has top 3 to 5 running back potential. Let's not do a Saquon Barkley and see him in New England, and then we all gonna be or let's not see him go down there to a team like Pittsburgh, who doesn't necessarily have the Breece Hall type of talent.
Right.
Now I want to ask you something, Paul.
Yeah.
How would you feel if the Jets did pull the trigger and draft Jeanty at 7? I want to hear this.
I mean, to be honest, how could you not be excited? Again, it's scary. Like, you're like, holy shit, because everyone's going to be talking about that pick the next day. But it's exciting because this dude ran for 2,600 rushing yards. He had 29 rushing touchdowns last year. He had the greatest season by a guy not named Barry Sanders in the history of college football. He's a smaller guy. Hey, I'm vertically challenged. I can respect that. Game respects game. No question about it. But he's just an explosive offensive threat. And the thing that, again, I'm being influenced, I know he's not these guys, but seeing Saquon go crazy, seeing Derrick Henry go crazy, seeing the running backs as a former running back go crazy this year makes me just go, man, if we could just get that sort of basic, because our run game sucked last year. Just point blank, it stunk. And whether that was coaching or who the reason was, or the run blocking on the offensive line, or who we want to blame, the run game was terrible. The Jets' run game was supposed to be the basis for Aaron Rodgers to use the play-action passing game. It was supposed to be the basis of the offense and put our floor here on offense, and then everything else from Aaron Rodgers, we were going to help Aaron. Hey, man, don't worry. We got a great run game here. Don't worry. You can lean on that if things are ever going south, and we were never able to do that this year, unfortunately, which was devastating. So now, how would I feel? I'd be excited. I'd be like, holy crap. Now we need to see the rest of the offseason, right? Free agency is going to happen before the draft and all these other pieces. So how did they fill all these other holes on the team? But shoot, if Aaron Glenn had the conviction of saying, hey, I think we got another Jahmyr Gibbs here, then shit, let's ride, baby.
Well,
let's go.
This about Jeanty.
Yeah.
I know he gets a raw deal for the game against Penn State.
Yes.
We need to slow down because Penn State was stacking the box. They knew Boise State was going to throw the rock. And games like that really is when I see the true value of the player, because he played with heart. They were laying his ass out all game. Yeah. They were putting the helmets on his ass that game. I seen that game really good.
Yep.
He is that dude. He is that talented. A little concerned with the size of his hands. He was fumbling the ball a lot. I don't know. Right. NFL, they coming down with that. They're trying to 100%. Get it out.
We'll get the full numbers at the combine here in a couple of weeks to get hand size and stuff like that. But that's the big concern when you have smaller hands. It's less to grip the football.
Paul, if we do that move, if we draft Jeanty that high, then you're basically saying you're done with Breece Hall. That's basically what you're saying.
I would lean towards that. I would say that if you do that, you're probably either trading Breece or riding it out with Breece. So you have this 1 year of them all together, and then Breece is just leaving in free agency.
There's no excuse for Glenn when you think of it. He's been left a plethora of talent. Yeah. Joe Douglas, he might have missed a lot, or he missed on a quarterback, which sets the franchise back 5 years. Everybody knows that. Yeah. But when you look at the roster, there's no reason why, with a few adjustments, Glenn can't get us into the playoffs. That's just me. I don't know.
Yeah, the talent on the team is right there. It's all about a couple of these key moves. So appreciate it. June, thanks for the call, brother. And love the passion. Love the passion. Dom C, lock your windows. Good Lord. The takes. I'll have to listen back to it to see if there's some context we're missing. That's what some people were speculating in the comment section. Maybe Dom meant something else, but it doesn't sound like Dom meant something else, but I don't know. Let's go to the phone line. We got Johnny Boy back here on the show. What's up, Johnny? Good morning.
BG, good morning, brother. How you holding up?
Hey, I'm doing well. First and foremost, I just want to say thank you for being you, Johnny. Thank you for being you.
All day, every day, man. We try just to chill and relax. The Breece Hall convo, man. I think everybody is on the table other than Garrett Wilson. Let's keep it 100. I keep saying build around Garrett Wilson and kind of go from there if they really want to do this the right way. I have no idea what Glenn and his whole staff is wanting to do. Mm-hmm. Draft, it's the same thing. Is Aaron coming back? If Aaron comes back, that means maybe we go defense, right? Because I don't have to really worry too much about the offense itself.
Right.
If he doesn't come back and everything, then they are going to go ahead and get an offensive player. I don't know, because I feel like Devontae will be gone if Aaron doesn't come back.
I agree.
So the McMillan prospect is there at that point.
Yep.
I like Abdul Carter a lot. I think that guy's a beast. You know, if there's a possibility to get that, why the hell not? The Myles Garrett conversation.
Ooh, baby.
There's a chance to get that because we have no idea how JJ's going to come back.
That's
right?
true. That's the uncomfortable truth. Like, we all want Jermaine to be the freak, and he has got such a great mentality and everything, but we don't know. Like Aaron Rodgers come back from an Achilles, that's one thing as a quarterback. A pass rusher, you need that Achilles every play. You're pushing off. You're making moves. We don't know how he's going to come back. That's the honest truth. Up, did we lose Johnny? Or maybe so mystified by my take, he's speechless. Up, Johnny, you're back.
Yeah, I don't know. That was weird. It froze up.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's tough for me to say or talk anything right now within the draft itself because I have no idea what way they're going to actually go and everything. And I mean, Breece Hall could be potentially traded during the draft and for like a pick or whatever that occurs. I mean, if we're going to keep it honest, like, I love Breece, man. Breece signed my daughter's jersey. Like, it's the first
so cool.
ever gotten signed, first home game, the whole nine. So there's a special place that dude has for within our family, at least. But at the end of the day, man, it's about the Jets organization and what's going to make them better. You know, what has he really done? You know, get a 1,000 yards. That's cool, I guess. It's not.
Yeah, he's never gotten 1,000 yards, actually.
I mean, in total, with the
scrimmage yards, right? He had that crazy year. It wasn't last year; it was 2 years ago, where he played all 17, and he had like whatever the second most or third most in the AFC. Right? Yeah, there he did. Yeah.
But that's what I mean. After that, what's been going on? You know, I think we hold on to a lot of our players that are good when we have trash, right? So I don't know, man. It's a weird position that we're in right now. And I don't know. And then the Travis Hunter thing that June was talking about, is that going to translate into the NFL?
That's a good question. I don't know. That's a good question because, like, we haven't seen it before since, like, some Deion days. And even then, right, like, Deion has, like, 60 career catches or something. So it's not like he was used in spots, but he wasn't used anywhere near, like, what Travis Hunter in theory would be. But does it translate? That's a good question.
And he was doing that in Colorado. You
That's
know,
true.
And I mean, so again, do I think he's special? Yeah, I think he's good. You know, the Jeanty combo, that's one that's like, that's a business decision at that point because if he's there, you kind of like maybe so, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. But BG, I appreciate you, man. I do like June's takes a lot. He does bring the passion and everything like that, so I appreciate him, man. But Breece Hall, man, if somebody comes to me, and I'm pretty sure Glenn has said it, if the price is right, hey, that's what Parcells told me to do. So
100%.
I wouldn't even do my own wife like that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. I love that. Thanks, Johnny boy. Yeah, Jets Worldwide. Make sure you guys check out the YouTube channel. Yeah, I read Zach Rosenblatt's piece this morning from The Athletic, and he told a story from Bill Parcells and Aaron Glenn. So remember, Aaron Glenn was with the Jets before Bill Parcells, right? So Aaron Glenn's with a lot of the suckage. Bill Parcells arrives. Bill Parcells normally likes his corners at a certain size, at least this tall. Aaron Glenn hears about that. He storms into Bill Parcells' office, says, "What's the deal? You going to trade me?" And then Parcells says, basically everyone's got a price. Hell, my wife even has a price. But if you play well, you have nothing to worry about, basically. But it was funny that, hey, I'll trade my wife if I get a good enough offer. I mean, that's just crazy. So that is true. That is true. That's a good story there from Zach Rosenblatt. But I think if we're being honest, everyone's on notice. No one's got honeymoon guarantees anymore. A new regime is here. Everyone's got to prove themselves. Everyone is on the block. And I don't mean on the trade block. I just mean everyone's on notice. Aaron Glenn is evaluating this entire roster. Players that he thinks are good players for him are on this side of the line. Players that he thinks do not fit what he's about are on that side of the line. That's the uncomfortable truth. And if we're being honest, I saw Hennessy's Heisman's comment here. Where is this? And it's true. We overrate our own players. We were talking about Breece is the best running back in football. Move over Chris McCaffrey. Breece Hall is the best running back in football, but he's got to put his money where his mouth is, and we have not seen that consistently. if we're being real. I want Breece Hall to work out. I watched the documentary of his rehab and comeback, and I like Breece Hall a lot. But we're going to make some things happen. Philly Noodles with a YouTube super chat shout out. He's been a member for 7 months on the channel. We love it. Thanks for supporting the show, pal.
Wow.
Philly Noodles 631 says Jeanty 7, Hall for equity with second, Warren trade up. Hey, yeah, now you're cooking, Philly. You get your new star running back, you use it as a launch up opportunity. That's certainly possible. And then you get the Tyler Warren trade up. That'd be interesting. Fill that tight end void. I like it. Creative. Very nice. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Up next here, we got BMAC. Bum, bum. Chicago Bulls. Wow, nice. Okay.
Yeah. Another team that's garbage that I gotta root for, but
yeah, fair enough.
But anyway, Paul, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great, man. It's good to see you. It's been a second.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But I follow.
Hey, can I ask you a quick follow up? What's up with the I love women?
Like, I'm back.
Yeah, quick follow up. I love women too, but like, you know, why is something going on? Like, what's the I love women headline there under your name?
Yeah, well, on Jake's show there was a big controversy. I said something that pissed a lot of people off, and now I'm trying to.
I see.
Put that on there to let people know that what I said was wrong. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Oh, you're making
I
up for it.
apologize
okay.
for what
you love
I said.
Women. Okay.
And now
that makes sense.
I do, and I put, I do love women. You know what I mean? Which
yeah. Well, why not?
I
love women too. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Okay. Anywho,
like I said, my two favorite women actresses are Jennifer Lopez and Halle.
Halle Berry. Okay, you got great taste, BMAX. Sure. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Jennifer Lopez too.
J-Lo. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Who doesn't love J-Lo? Yeah.
Jennifer,
I'm all about that. Yeah.
But now I do want to this. Let's talk Jets. Get down to a business. Talk Jets.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. So, now about the Rodgers thing, it is interesting that now the Jets' new staff is built. Now we got a new offensive. The Jets got a new offensive coordinator. A guy who hasn't called any plays. Does that change things of say Rodgers coming back because you got this Hall of Fame veteran and pair up with the guy that's brand new on the job who hasn't called plays, who's a rookie OC and might want to do his own thing. Like, do you think if Rodgers comes back, do you think that would be a good mix?
It's a good question. Because Tanner Engstrand, the new Jets offensive coordinator, has not called plays to the NFL level, and he's a youngish guy. He's close to Aaron Rodgers in age. I think Tanner's 42, Rodgers 41 right now. So very close in age, and that he lacks that sort of experience. My curiosity is, like Aaron Rodgers, four-time NFL MVP, he could overwhelm a guy like that because Aaron Rodgers forgot more football than Tanner probably ever has known in his life. So I imagine there could be a bit of a rub there. But obviously what it says is AG's like, I'm getting the best guys around my team. And I'm not just getting guys that are connected to Aaron Rodgers' past, which obviously he didn't. All of these guys that he's hired so far have no direct correlation to Aaron Rodgers. I think, again, it could go both ways. Aaron Glenn could say, I want to establish my own culture. And Aaron Rodgers, there's too much extra with you, pal. Sorry, I'm going to go behind door number B. But my gut tells me Aaron's coming back, BMAC, because he keeps talking about winning. And if you want to win, Aaron Rodgers gives you the best chance to win of any of these cats that are out there, of whether you go Tyrod Taylor or you go rookie or you go Justin Fields. Like, Aaron gives you a better chance of winning than all of those cats combined. So I think Aaron wants to win and establish something in his first year and allow Aaron to be the transitional quarterback to whatever door number 2 is. So my gut tells me Aaron's coming back, but I think we're going to learn the answer to that question here over the coming weeks.
Do you think if it comes down to Rodgers or Tyrod, do you think Rodgers is the better choice than Tyrod?
I do, because we have the same questions about both. Tyrod can never stay healthy. Aaron stayed healthy of the 17 games, obviously battled through a lot of injuries. If Tyrod was this fully healthy guy that's always healthy, maybe we're having a different conversation, but he's not. You can't guarantee health with Tyrod Taylor. And then you have Aaron, who's obviously a superior player. So, yes, I would take Aaron over Tyrod Taylor, yes.
All right, and I do agree with you. And the one thing I have problems with, the people said, "Oh, get rid of Rodgers, get rid of Rodgers." Well, okay, but you saying that, and you're not telling me what's your backup plan, because, like you said, outside of him, there's not too many great eye-popping ones out there. And I'm not saying Rodgers been great himself, you know what I mean? But like, look at the stats. And I know people said the stats can lie, but the stats are the stats, and you know, like, since Ryan Fitzpatrick, when's the last time you had a quarterback that threw over 20 touchdowns? Like, I don't think
it's been a long time. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So I'm just saying that, Jet fans, don't, be careful what you wish for. And I do think Rodgers can still be a competent quarterback. I know Jake said it best. People need to stop looking at him as the full-time MVP and look at him as the bridge, and him as the bridge is the best choice out of the other QBs.
Yeah, my MVP, and thank you, B-Mac, for the call. I appreciate it. My MVP Aaron Rodgers dreams have died. They're over. That died on the field in 2023 when his Achilles blew out. Of like, oh man, he can bring this MVP level to the team. And we're going to get back to the phone lines. I just want to address two things here. So my Holy King brings this up. How do I know Tyrod can't stay healthy next year? And how do I know Aaron is going to stay healthy? I don't know either. This is what I'm saying. Tyrod historically has been unable to stay healthy. Now, we haven't seen it because obviously he was a backup last year, so we have no idea whether or not he could or could not. But it's a question whether he can or can't. That's what I'm saying. It's not like a guy that's been healthy his entire career and then he gets his op, because that would change my perception. But Rodgers, I don't know if he could stay healthy all year. But because Tyrod's not a guarantee, well, if he's not a guarantee and Rodgers isn't a guarantee, I'd prefer Rodgers' lack of a guarantee than Tyrod, if that makes sense. Because Tyrod has proven he can't stay healthy. Aaron at least played in all 17 last year. But I would rather ride that train, because if you're riding the Tyrod train, the train you would, in theory, be riding is a quarterback with a high floor that won't get hurt, and he's just going to operate the offense. And that would be a zig to the zag of Aaron Rodgers. And why you would say, well, I don't want all the bullshit that comes with Aaron Rodgers. I just want Tyrod Taylor all reliable. The problem is he's not all reliable. That's the question of what we are reaching here. So I have no idea, again, whether or not Tyrod stays healthy or Aaron stays healthy or any of that. But the fact that we don't have like clear knowledge on the sides is why I'm at where I'm at. Let's go back to the phone lines here, baby. We got EZ back here on the show. What's up, EZ?
Hey, how you doing, Paulie?
Hey, not too shabby.
So, Aaron Rodgers, you can't even count the first 7 games last year, because it takes 2 years to come back from an Achilles. I mean, for real.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he was even on the field was just a miracle for a guy who was 40 years old.
Yeah.
And the second half of the year, when he started getting his legs under him and his knee and his hip started healing up, he was pretty good. I'm not going to say he was, Hall of Fame or MVP Aaron Rodgers, but he was pretty good.
Yeah.
I'd say he was in the top 18, maybe. Top 15,
an average quarterback. Yeah, that's a fair way to put it. Sure. Yeah.
And he was hurt. The end of the year now, the last 5-6 games of the year, except for 1 or 2 little stinkers, he was actually playing pretty darn good. I mean, for real. He had his legs back under him. He got more accurate. He had a little more zip on the ball. So if he comes back this year, I think he's going to be a lot better than people would even expect. And I know we're the Jets, and we have the little dark cloud over our heads all the time.
Yeah.
But I think if he comes back this year, he's going to be a lot better than anybody expects.
That'd be great.
One of the things, with the draft now, I was telling you the other day that everything with the draft is contingent upon free agency.
Of course.
So, yeah, Myles Garrett, amazing guy. But do you really want to give away the farm for him? I wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't. We have a good enough defense where we don't need to give away the farm for a guy like Myles Garrett. Would I love to have him and have that front four that's like death camp? Yes, absolutely. But we can't afford it. I mean, he's been in the league 7-8 years now, and we're only going to get maybe 2-3 more productive years out of him. And I don't want to give away a first and a second or 2 firsts to get him. Now, if he wanted
it would
money,
take a lot. It would take a brand new contract. It'd take multiple firsts. Yeah,
they're just as much as I love the player, there are way too many issues in getting him. It's just he's not affordable either in draft assets or financially. We don't got the money. We just don't.
Yeah.
So, yes, he's going to be on somebody's team, and he's going to be a monster. And I don't blame him for wanting to get off of Cleveland.
Well, let's just hope he doesn't land in Buffalo then, because that scares the shit out of me. Yeah.
Well, I don't care. And number 2, I can't worry about the other teams. I can only worry about what we can worry about. The other thing is, in free agency, we need a safety. We need a linebacker. Who can we get that's reasonable, that's good, that we could get at safety or linebacker? Because I think that's more the issue with the run game than the front line. What do you think?
Let's take a peek. I just had this up for myself. So, okay, let's take a peek here. PFF's top 100 free agents. All right, let's take a gander here. So safety, the big one that's out there is Javon Holland. You can take him away from the Miami Dolphins. He's been a really good player in the league. So you got
that's an addition and a subtraction.
Exactly.
For us and a subtraction from them.
Yeah, sign again. That sounds fun to me. So sign me up. So there's that safety. That would be that'd be a fun one for the Jets. Let me see.
Yeah, and I mean that actually adds even extra value, though. People don't realize it, that if you can get a guy from your rival, that actually is like a double-edged sword. So that's good.
Yeah,
and who's
here's some of the linebackers
linebacker
that are out there. You got Dre Greenlove, the 49ers. Again, he's battled a lot of injuries. That could scare a few people off. That could certainly happen.
Nope.
He's another linebacker out there. Nick Bolton. I love Nick Bolton. If he's the Chiefs should franchise tag him and do whatever they can to make sure he doesn't reach free agency. But I would love Nick Bolton. He would be terrific. He's set to be a free agent too.
Yep. See that once we get the free agents locked down, then we could worry about like let's say we get that safety from Miami.
Yeah.
All right, we don't have to now we don't have to draft a safety, and maybe we can go and get a wide receiver or a tight end.
Yeah, sure. That would suddenly be on the table. I mean, we need another safety too, so we'd have to figure that out because we need 2 starting safeties. All of our safeties are set to be free agents, including Tony Adams. But yeah, that would be another one to look at.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
All right, dude.
Thanks, EC. Appreciate it, pal. So, yeah, safety, Javon Holland, perhaps. Here we go. By the way, let me throw the super chat up here. We'll get to more phone calls here in a second. Number 1 Austrian Jet fan with a YouTube super chat. Appreciate it.
Wow.
By the way, it's another raffle ticket, baby, with your other super chat from earlier this month. So 53 memberships gifted now this month for number 1 Ashton Jet fan. 53 raffle tickets. Appreciate it. Unless we sign Fields, give me Bridge Rodgers. Yeah, Justin Fields has the Garrett Wilson connection. Again, here's the thing on Justin Fields. I think it'd be exciting. Fuck it. Like, there's not a lot of great quarterback options. Why not? Sure. There's going to be some horrific car crashes with Justin Fields, but there'll be some exciting moments. So why not? So that would be kind of cool if you don't go Rodgers. Let's go Justin Fields, Tyrod Taylor, let him battle it out. Again, former Ohio State teammate Garrett Wilson. Sure, why not? But we'll see what happens. Again, I'm preferably hoping for Rodgers, but different strokes. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. We got Sonny, Long Island. What's up, pal?
Hey, Boy Green. Good morning to you, man.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, no work here, so I'm just chilling around the house, listening to the show.
Hey, there you go.
Yep. The whole Rodgers thing, there's no immediate answer to replacing the guy.
Definitely not. No.
That was a lot of production, a whole bunch of touchdown passes,
yep,
and a lot of yards. Statistically, it would say that he had a really good season.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of the guys get lost in the fact that there was no coaching staff. This
Right.
was an epic collapse from the front office and the higher ups of the team. Team was completely undisciplined. There was no coach after they fired Salah. Also, the middle of the season where it looked like it was just dragging with Rodgers,
Yeah.
people forget the guy got really injured in week 4 versus Denver and then got even further injured the following week versus the Vikings. So I think that's why, it's plain to see he played better earlier in the season and then better late. So
Mm-hmm.
the middle part of his injury is when it looked really ugly out there on the field. Either way, the guy is he's another 1-year option.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand that a lot of guys want to go and search for the future QB and get the answer at that position. He's not. I don't believe he's in the draft next year. You're not getting Shador Sanders. You're not getting the other quarterback. I think
Cam Ward, yeah.
Cam Ward, right?
Yeah.
You might not even have a Jackson Dart fall to you. Someone else
Sure.
might take him.
Yeah.
So then what future are we talking about? There's no future QB.
Zero.
And I mean, people are calling upon Justin Fields as if he's a savior.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, this guy's been in the league a long time. He's had multiple chances. I mean,
Yes.
if Rodgers retires and they go the Fields route, I can understand it. But he's not a savior, and I think we know that already because he's played long enough.
Yeah.
Also, the Tyrod thing.
Yeah.
People are also talking about Tyrod like, well, at this point in his career, he's better than Rodgers. I don't remember the last time that guy got the starting job and held it. I remember
It's like again, maybe 7 years ago. Like I think that's the last time that Buffalo had him. He had this 2 or 3 year run with Buffalo, and then besides it, he's been a career backup. So like off the top of my head, like 7 years ago. Like I mean, that's forever ago. Good Lord.
That's a long time, and to get away from the quarterbacks for a minute, Breece Hall, I'd love for them to keep him. I don't see them re-signing him. I think out of the young players, I think he's the one that's going to walk for financial reasons. I think Sauce, the Jets are probably going to try to lock that guy up, and the same thing with Wilson.
Sure.
I could even see them trying to extend Wilson or whatever in the off season. So unfortunately, I think Breece is the casualty that we will probably part ways with after the season.
Yeah, it could very well be, Sonny. Appreciate the call, pal. Yeah, it sounds like Breece is going to be the guy. He's the one that hits free agency before any of those other guys. All the first-round picks have 5-year contracts. Again, 5th-year options are set to be decided here in early May. So, yeah, compelling. Compelling. A lot of good thoughts there. Let's get one more call in before we sign off the show, baby. Appreciate the 700 people in the room. Again, like the video, hit subscribe, baby. We appreciate it. Again, doing giveaways for our free subscribers and also for the people that buy memberships and super chats. We appreciate it for both. So again, as soon as we get to 7,500 subscribers, we're giving away some fun stuff. So we'll check on wherever we're at after the show. But let's go back to the phones. We got Indy Jets here on the program to wrap us up. What's up, Indy?
BG, good morning. Good morning, sir. Your previous caller talked about how, not the previous one, the one before, talked about how much better Rodgers played in the second half of the season, right?
Yes. Yep. That's what he said.
Okay.
Yep,
I want you to see this. So from November, starting in Arizona, we didn't score a touchdown.
No.
We didn't score any in the second half.
Definitely.
Seattle, we didn't score a point in the second half.
No,
Miami, we scored 3 points in the second half. The Rams, we didn't score a touchdown the whole game, and Rodgers didn't throw a single touchdown in the Buffalo game. So where is this greatness that Rodgers played so much better in the second half? Because
Week
those
18,
are all,
I guess. We're putting. I guess all the marbles are going on that Dolphins Jets 4-touchdown game. I guess.
Right, a pointless game. But if you, I mean, you're taking 2 months worth of games and he played like crap. I mean, this is a guy that was supposed to come in and put the team on his back. And when we needed a score in the second half to win a game, that Rodgers was the guy. And he proved this year. Now, if you want to say at the beginning of the season and it was Achilles and he was healing, okay, fine. We're talking about the end of the season, the month of November and December. He played terrible. So where is this Rodgers played so much better in the second half? Because I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, we're going to need a follow-up call on the show tomorrow, perhaps from EC to explain that, because you're right. We remember some of the good moments, right? Week 3, I was there for the Jets-Patriots. Aaron was going crazy all over the place. Great. We remember Week 18. Oh, yeah, look at 4 touchdown passes. But, boy, there was a lot of moments where Aaron, there was an incomplete pass, and Aaron just angrily looks at the sideline like, geez. And I'm like, well, what happened? Was it Aaron? Was it the player? Was it coaching? And at the end of the day, Jet fans don't care. They just want results. So whether it was Aaron's fault, this fault, or that fault.
There's one play that I saw this year that makes me not want Rodgers back ever again because he's not the teammate. It's when he threw the ball. I want to say was that at Yeboah's feet?
Oh yes, that was the Buffalo game.
Okay,
he rolled out, but he's wide open and he just skipped a rock.
It wasn't the fact that it was a bad throw. It was the fact that he literally, you could see the look on his face, and I couldn't read his lips, but you could see the look on his face that he blamed Yeboah for not catching the ball. I mean, what kind of teammate throws the guy under the bus? I mean, he should have been the first one to go, my bad.
Yeah.
No, but that's not the guy. And so you take that plus the last 7-8 weeks of the season, not counting that last Miami game that was it was a worthless game anyway. He did not play well. I mean, anybody can have a good game. I mean, I remember Geno when Geno played. I mean,
perfect
the last game of the year,
Miami.
The game against Miami. Boy, Geno looked like a star that game. Because why? It didn't matter.
I think you're onto something, Indy. And by the way, Philly Noodles is shouting you out in the comment section. Preach on for what you're saying there. Yeah, there was some bad with Aaron Rodgers this year that we try to forget about. Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. Again, we're going to find out this Aaron Rodgers decision here in the month of February. The combine is at the very end of February. It's like 26th, 27th, 28th of February is when it all starts, players reporting and stuff. And then free agency is in March. So we're going to find out this Aaron Rodgers decision very, very soon. Like I said, I'd imagine somewhere in the next 2 or 3 weeks would be my guess. We'll see if that ends up being true. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We should be back at 3:00 for Boy Green Meets Woody. We'll see you guys then. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.